AX. So, I want to welcome y'all to another episode of the TCK Web3 News Roundtable, episode 106. Episode 106.
And Park.
We getting the lighting official. You know what I mean? Lights, camera, action in here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm extremely happy about today. We got some announcements. We got major announcements to make. There was Eve Denver that was going on. What else was going on? We had our game night, our casino game night that was popping. What else we had? We had some winners. Shout out to Stand With Crypto. Stand With Crypto, they definitely came through to help sponsor the event. We had some people win some USDC that was playing poker. We had blackjack going. I was the actual dealer, you know what I'm saying? I was all black in dealer mode, so it was fun to have. Shout out to everybody that came through. Man, oh man, it's crazy. It's set off, but I'm gonna tell y'all like this. It's gonna end spectacular because there's gonna be an evolution taking place. There's gonna be an evolution taking place, folks. And this evolution is inevitable. It's about growth. It's about prosperity. It's about being at the right place at the right time. It's also about just supporting people, you know, in their ventures, you know, in their endeavors. That's what it's all about, man. Everybody here at ABC who has built something, we all wish for success with every project that's being built here. You know, ABC is a very special place. Very, very special place. You know, I got on my ABC merch today. NFTia got on her ABC merch today. Cheeze, what you got under there, man? What shirt you got on under there, man?
Babe.
You got a babe?
Yeah.
All right, well, you ABC in the blood, man. You know what I'm saying? We rep ABC, man. Atlanta Blockchain Center is a facility that has been able to captivate people from all walks of life, all ages, all places, all races. And I'm extremely proud to be a member of ABC. So there's going to be an evolution of everything. TCK, ABC, and I'm looking forward to the future. All right. So without further ado, y'all already know how we do. This is your boy T.Gold. This is episode 106, like 106 in Park. Shout out to Bow Wow, aka Chad Moss, or Shad Moss, I should say. You know what I'm saying? Man, I really appreciate all of the episodes that we have conducted here at ABC. But there's going to be an evolution, y'all. There's going to be an evolution. We got NFTia here today in the building. We got Just Cheeze in the building. So just to give everybody a heads up, the next few weeks, we will be remote. Okay? We will be remote. Cheeze is going out of town with his family, you know. So he need that well-deserved vacation. And we got to give a major shout out to NFTia because it's about growth. So she expressed to me and Cheeze that today, unfortunately, I'm a little heartbroken, I'm a little sad to announce this. But today, this is going to be her last time on the couch, man. This ain't going to be the last time y'all hear from her.
Nah.
Far from that. But she needs to be hyper-focused on what she has going on with Docuhero. And it's a bittersweet moment because I'm happy that she's, you know, hyper-focused on what she has going on because that's what it's about, developing something that can create, enough revenue so she can just do this for the rest of her life, man. Do something that she loves, man. Something that she built and get paid off of it, man. You know? Same here, man, with TCK. You know what I mean? Same thing with Just Cheeze and Skylark, man. Everybody are builders here, man. So, Tia, I just want to say thank you for being a major part. I gotta give you a hug. For being a major part of the TCK Web3 News, this roundtable thing that we have here. Definitely much success in your endeavors. You know, I just know that whatever you focus on is gonna be phenomenal. It's gonna be successful because of your work ethic. You know, I seen you come here and develop, your skills in this space, vibe coding, you know, even on certain sessions you've been holding down, the events you've been throwing, the connections that you made. So to watch you move in this space, it's a thing of beauty. You know what I mean? So I'm proud that you gave us your time and your effort and your wisdom, and your charisma too, man. You know what I'm saying? Gave a nice balance to the pod, man. So I can go on, but I'm gonna give you the mic, I'm gonna give you the floor, say your piece. And also, thank you for pulling up to the casino event, man. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You and your husband Charles came out there. That was lit. I was happy. I was happy about that.
Nah, he was clean. When I told him it was a casino theme, he went straight to it and put it on. So was happy that he came out. But for me this is not goodbye. This is not goodbye. This is more. I gotta lock in. I just got a lot of stuff that's right here, and it's requiring so much of me right now. Not only being a mom, a wife, juggling all these different hats and just things. Once you start noticing that you're dropping the ball here, it's hard for you to make this commitment here. You have to pull back some of those different roles that you're holding, and hyper focus on what's at stake. And for me right now, that's Docuhero. And y'all know I love Sundays. I just was telling my husband this, like, I love doing the pod. Even when some days it seems like, ooh, I gotta hurry up and get up and get dressed. I'm chilling on a Sunday. No, you gotta get up and gotta get down there. And but when I get here, this never feels like work. And that's when you know you're doing the right thing. So this is not goodbye by any means. This is just goodbye for now. So I can be laser focused and get Docuhero off the ground. So, but I thank you, T.Gold, for this couch. I've grown so much because of this couch. I speak so much better and confidently because of this couch. I've had to sit here and learn so many topics about crypto over the last year and a half because of this couch. So, me having to, y'all know Cheeze is a genius. So me being able to talk with the best is, iron sharpens iron. It makes you step your game up. So this couch has been such a treat. Like I said, this is not goodbye. This is just goodbye for now.
Oh, man, Cheeze. You got any words for NFTia, man? Because she been a major part of what we established here. It was just me and you when we set it off, man. But she came through, man. It was a great fit. What's your thoughts about NFTia, man, and her presence, man, and her moving on?
I see for Tia, definitely her focus on Docuhero has, when she started pitching and wanted to start building it, and to the point where, she won the pitch competition, and the alignment for her, you got to step into the opportunity when the iron is hot, right? And like you said, T.Gold, it's we're all building something. So the opportunity for us to take these things to the next level may require us to just make sacrifices in areas. And physical presence is one thing, but like presence overall doesn't go away. And we're all here building one another, building foundation for one another either way. So me, I don't necessarily see it as anything different, because we all see each other every other day. Like, we just, it's just, this show gonna happen on Sundays. Where you gonna be? You gonna be here, or you gonna be on wherever you gonna be? You gonna still be on X? We all gonna find. You can all find each other on X.
Man, so it's only right that we give you, first we gotta give you some air horns, man. Let me turn this up, man. We gotta get you right, man, with the air horns, man. I gotta do that one more time. I ain't like how that came out, man. There we go, man. Cause it's like what you've been able to accomplish since you've been here, is a thing of beauty. Like I said, man, to watch somebody build and grow and evolve. That's what it's about, man. And also, I'd be remiss if I don't mention you being the vice president of Stand With Crypto as well. You see what I'm saying? You're wearing a lot of hats. So I respect the decision, and I appreciate everything you have done, and much success. Much success. You know what I mean? So I want to give Tia a round of applause. Let's give her a round of applause, man. Let's just give her a round of applause, man, just for being a solid individual, man. And we got Ant, El Presidente of the Georgia chapter of Stand With Crypto. He's just coming in back from East Denver. So he was on location. We're going to ask him about his experience, his time out there, people he was able to network with, and his thoughts on NFTia, man. The floor is yours. Ant, how you doing, brother? We appreciate you tapping in, man. How you doing today? I'm going to send him another request, y'all. Send him another request. Oh, I think he got rugged. Yep, he got rugged. It's all right. When he pop back up, we going to give him the floor so he can share his thoughts. And, man, this week been crazy, y'all. Shout out to everybody who came to the bookstore gallery. Shout out to Kyle, Just, our guy P, man. Shout out to everybody who pulled up. There's also some individuals, man, some random people, man, that showed up, man. So we got some traction, we got some motion. We got some more events lined up coming for y'all, man, for 2026, man. We getting ready for this World Cup too, man. So we all grinding, we all getting prepared for things, man. It's a lot going on. That 3D printer is about to be on fire. You know what I mean? We about to press up some dope ass shirts. So that's gonna be another thing I'm looking forward to do. And yeah, man, and continuing this ride, man. So I'm gonna jump into the topics, but we are gonna wait for our guy Ant Mathis to pull back to the pod, because I'm definitely interested to hear what he gotta say. And also, we got another individual from Colorado, man. We're gonna have our guy Easy Money. Easy Money, what's good, B? We're gonna throw him up on stage. I'm gonna invite him to speak. I believe he went down to East Denver as well. So I gotta hear the play-by-play, man, how East Denver was out there, man. Easy Money. The floor is yours, brother. All right, it look like we having some technical difficulties today, man, with some of our guest speakers, man. So I'm gonna wait for them to get situated and wait for X to get right. I don't know what's going on with X, man, but all right. From the looks on social media, let's talk about some of the things that I did see on social media about East Denver. I did see there were less people in attendance, quite naturally, because we damn near at the bottom of a bear market. And a lot of the conversation definitely was around AI and these Claude bots. That was a lot of the conversation from what I was seeing. The after parties definitely didn't look as lit. It didn't look like I saw a lot of sponsorships like I saw last year. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a lot of Web3 wavy merch out there like, like we got on here. You know what I mean? So, but I did notice that it was lighter out there, and it seemed like the true builders, you know, went out there, networked, did their thing. Some people spoke on the panels. There were Hester Pierce, the head of the SEC. She was out there, so she was giving us some updates on what was going on with crypto regulation. So it was good to see. Who would have thought the head of the SEC would be at ETH Denver? That's kind of wild. That's kind of wild. Any of y'all see any photos or hear any information about ETH Denver? Did anybody from our team, because I know a lot of people are still getting back, did anybody reach out to y'all? Any information y'all came across about ETH Denver?
ETH Denver has been as quiet as a mouse to me in my timeline. Other than seeing Stand With Crypto doing anything out there in ETH Denver has been pretty quiet in my eyes. So I knew it was probably a lot less of a turnout than it was last year. Because I remember being there last year and it was just flooded with people. I seen Tyrek was out there. Obviously Aunt Mathis, whole Stand With Crypto crew, a few of your regulars, crypto influencers, but it wasn't a big splash like last year is what from what I seen.
So we got a few more people I know that pulled up. I know Cash and Blue was out there, so they were pitching. They were pitching Blue Water. So I'm definitely interested to hear how their pitch went. And who else was out there? There was somebody else I'm not thinking of. But, Cheeze, what's your thoughts on ETH Denver? Did you know anybody that went out there that made any great connections? And overall, what was your sentiment on your timeline?
It looked pretty dope to me. From what I was looking at, right? Looked pretty interesting to see people there, but yeah, it wasn't big turnout as I've seen in the past. Hasn't been big turnout as I've seen in the past, but they even moved the location too. If you knew.
Yeah, it looked like they were like in one building or so.
Yeah, they weren't in that They weren't in that building where everything was like spanned across. It wasn't that space again. So whether that move was for greater purposes or because of lack of, hype this time around, then it is what it is. But builders build. So I think the more interesting thing for me would be to have seen this type of engagement when there was actual momentum in this space, meaning that right now people should be building.
That's right.
Right? I don't have anything to go show off at ETH Denver or be there, so it's like you should be building.
Great point. In the bear market, it's time to build, man. Time to, hibernate, bunker down, do what we got to do. Now, there's one thing I did see out there, Cheeze. The Nouns DAO, they were out there. Mute your mic for me, please. Thank you. And we're going to put you on the stage right quick. One thing I'm going to mention is Nouns DAO, Cheeze. They bought out their 3D printer. You know what they were printing?
What?
On your Nike sneaker, there's a little metal thing that your shoestring goes through. Right?
This thing right here?
Yeah. They were printing out the Nouns glasses that you can put your laces through. So if you had some Air Force Ones or whatever, they were 3D printing some dope accessories for your sneakers, man. So, that gives us room and an idea. It gave me an idea of things that we can do, potentially next year for East Denver, man. So that'll be super lit, man, to bring a 3D printer out there and cook up some stuff right there on the spot, some Web3 stuff. You know what I mean? So, plus, we're going to have some more printers. That's for sure. And our guy, Ant Mathis, we got him back. We're going to invite him to speak. We're going to give him the floor, give us his assessment of East Denver. How you doing? We appreciate you tapping in and getting back in one piece, sir. How you doing, Ant?
What's up, everyone? Appreciate everyone today on the Day of the Sun. Congratulations on 106. 106. I like that. 106. You know how we grow up. 106 in crypto.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day, and I love how the call is starting off. It's an evolution. We're growing, and change is inevitable. And if you look at anything that's great, you'll see those changes in those pivotal moments. So congratulations to Tia always and the work that she's doing. I know this is her last time sitting on the chair there for TCK, and I understand the focus of and targeting the work that she's been doing with Docuhero. Just recently, I had celebrated a birthday, and I was asked, "What do I want to do?" And I went to the gun range because my whole motto is to focus and lock in. And I didn't want to leave that gun range until I hit that bullseye. That's exactly what I did. And I hit it with the big gun, too. I hit it with the Desert Eagle. So I understand the lock-in. And also, East Denver was amazing. East Denver, for me, was a little bit different this year than it was last year. It's a lot different. Last year, I got to experience East Denver with my Atlanta Blockchain Center family. And it was a great experience. We covered a lot. This year, it was more of the Stand With Crypto family. But also I represented the ABC family as well. And this time around, I did not go to any of these side events except, the educational, but the parties and stuff like that, I did not go to not one of them. And the reason was that is to just go back to the whole locking in and focus. So, I mean, you ain't going to be able to go to East Denver or Stand With Crypto and go to any IG stories, and you're not going to see me at any parties because I was going to the conference and I was going back to the place to stay with the laptops out, and I was actually cooking with other individuals who understood that as well. And there was some great conversations about what's next as we're entering what this looks like as a bear market, all the different opportunities out there. The attendance at Denver was a little bit, lower than usual, obviously, and the conference was a little bit smaller than it was last year. And the conversations were still great. There's still a lot of builders in the space, and there was a lot of connections still being made. But for me, it was just the people I saw last year or the people that I've been on conversations with on Zoom and Google and emails and here recently over the last several months, taking a deeper dive in those conversations to bring things to, enjoying the fruits of our labor, So, yeah, we're in a lock-in, and we have to, as there's a shift going on in the world. And I just shared this with a loved one that we got to pay attention. We're in Pisces season, so shout out to all the Pisces. Let's learn what we can from the Aquarius season and just look at all the things that's going on in news, but know who you are and anchor down in who you are in God and spirituality of who you are and your powers, and lock in on what it is that you have. And as this shift goes out, that means there's going to be a slide, and there's going to be some people that are going to fall off. But as long as you anchored in, you're going to be good on what you stand on. So as this comes up, don't be like, yeah, I know, or yeah, I see it. Step up to it. Face it. Don't run from it. Don't get comfortable in it. Face it and overcome it. And have that structure of being strong and knowing that you're going to overcome it, because there's so many out there that have a structure where they expect to fail. We're different than that. So I look forward to, everything that we have going on in 2026 with this upcoming event with Terminus DAO on Friday. I know we're going to talk a little bit more about on this Saturday. We'll talk more about that, but shout out to everyone. And we are all respected at East Denver. A lot of people ABC were asked about. NFTia was able to FaceTime with another VP, Brandon Street. Shout out to him from Indiana, and connect with Miss Carrie, Miss Nifty out there in California doing great work. So she got a chance to connect with them as well. And we're going to keep this thing moving. So thank you for your time today, and everybody enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Yo, Ant, man, thank you for that rundown, man. There's a couple of questions I definitely want to ask you, too. First, were you able to go back to the Robert F. Smith Academy just to give an update on everything and see where they at?
So we were not able to attend Robert F. Smith Academy again this year. There are some updates going on. There's some things in the works going on to continue to support them with a visit here in the future. I had an opportunity to meet with Wanda James, who is the first female Black cannabis entrepreneur in the country. To speak with her. She's running for Congress in Colorado. And she's very aware of the work that we have done at Robert F. Smith Academy, and she's looking to support us further on the outreach to that school, but not only to that school, but more so importantly, the whole community of like Northeast Denver, North Denver, the communities that deserve to learn more about this technology of blockchain. So I will say that the highlight was for me, though we weren't able to go to Robert F. Smith Academy, my god brother played football at CU, rest his soul. He passed in 2019, and my sisters are graduated from the University of Colorado at Denver. I was able to get University of Colorado on the college list of schools supported by Stand With Crypto.
Dope.
And on Tuesday, Shekinah Harris from West Virginia, the president for Stand With Crypto, put on a educational session at the University of Colorado Boulder on Tuesday. And she also did that with the University of Colorado at Denver on, I think it was Thursday or Friday. I can't remember which day it was. There's so much that was going on. But for me, just to see those kids at the University of Colorado, and it was not the kids, it was a lot of kids there, but it was the National Society for Black Engineers, and it was the National Black Blockchain Network. So to see those Black students in there, Hispanic students in there, a lot of girls in those classes, and knowing that's the school that my brother went to, played football at, and now Coach Prime is up there doing great things like they used to do back in the past, that was a huge, fulfilling moment for me, equivalent to what we did at Robert F. Smith Academy.
Yo, Ant, man, that sound so phenomenal, man, that it's full circle moment for you in having, crypto and the University of Colorado just lock in, man. That's amazing, man. That's amazing. So Stand With Crypto, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out for. Oh, also, that was my other question. Were there any other things that Stand With Crypto done out there, or any other collaborations that they have, were able to nurture out there? Any new relationships established?
Right now, our focus, we sponsored the East Denver Lounge. So our whole setup was, we had couches and tables and monitors and a microphone and a sound system and tables for people to really register as advocates for Stand With Crypto to grow our numbers from 2.7 million to hopefully 4 million by the end of this year. And then as far as, as relationships, Stand With Crypto is fortunately at the forefront of relationships with just about everyone in the blockchain, Web3, crypto, AI space, because we're advocates of everyone's work. So that's the pros. I don't see any cons. And just to have the information and to establish relationships all across the board, it's a plus for everyone.
Yo, that's phenomenal, man. That's phenomenal. Shout out to Stand With Crypto for the work that they have done, and just recognizing a lot of builders and other, projects and platforms in this space, man. So definitely shout out to them and the work that they do in the community. So without further ado, and also I want to thank you too for your hard work and your efforts going out there representing and being a native from Colorado too. So I know that was, special for you, So
thank you, man. Thank you. Appreciate everyone here.
No problem. Did you see? Did you happen to see Cass or Blue out there? And did you see their pitch?
I didn't see their pitch, but I did see Cass and Blue. It was, like I said, it was Thursday or Friday towards the one of the end of the sessions. I saw they both walked in about the same time. I think I saw Blue first, and then I saw Cass and Blue. But yeah, I got a chance to see them, and then I saw them off, going through the conference, and that was the last time I saw them. But yeah, it was good to see them there as well.
Dope. Shout out to Cass and Blue Water. Hopefully they came back, with some good news. Even if they didn't win the pitch competition, hopefully they were able to make some great connections out there. So yeah, Ant, thank you for that information. And like I said, all the work that you do, brother. Definitely. So yeah, y'all, Tia has brought it to my attention that, right now, the Mexican cartels, man, it looked like the military and the cartels, they going at it. So I don't know if the Mexican military can handle the cartels. I don't know if they have enough weaponry, but fuck around, United States might get pulled into this. Hopefully we won't, but it's right in our backyard. So it looks very devastating right now, some of the images that was shown to me. So obviously this isn't a crypto story, but we are sympathetic to people who are going through, real-time issues. Like this is war. This is like a literal war going on between drug lords and the Mexican military, man. So our hearts, prayers, and thoughts go out to everybody in Mexico, and stay safe, please. Tia, is there anything you want to mention about this?
No, well, yeah, I'll say something real quick. It's looking like they killed one of the leading members of the cartel, and a lot of the cartel members throughout Mexico are raging civil war, not just against Mexico, but the United States as well. So it's a shelter in place for all Americans that are currently in Mexico right now. They're burning a lot of their infrastructure down to the ground.
That's crazy.
Bombing cars, and obviously there is a lot of violence out there right now. So prayers out to Mexico and just everybody that's being affected, whether it's the Middle East, whether it's tension in the East with China and Japan. There's so much tension in the world, so everyone can use prayer, but I know Mexico is right in our backyard, and it's unfortunate to see this happening.
Yeah, our hearts definitely goes out to everybody dealing with the crisis down there in Mexico, because this is crazy. We were already watching our government send these aircraft carriers to Iran over there. It looked like they're gearing up for some kind of engagement.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. We in a crazy time right now. I don't want to get too far down a rabbit hole. We already had Epstein conversation damn near over the past 2-3 weeks. Almost every week we've been talking about him. So it's just a crazy time.
Declaring a civil war right now in Mexico.
Yeah, civil war in Mexico right now. That's what they're declaring. That's super unfortunate, man. That's super unfortunate, man. And I know one thing that I did state, and I was kind of joking around when we were talking about the Epstein files, because there's a lot of crypto connections with Epstein. I was just ready for the aliens to come back. But the way that this thing happened was crazy. Did y'all see that? Barack Obama earlier this week was on a podcast. Dude asked him, were aliens real? He was like, yeah. And then he tried to walk it back. But then he kind of like, he misstepped on the walk back. You know what I mean? He didn't get his moonwalk right. You know what I'm saying? But basically, they asked Trump about it. And Trump, being that he's super petty, he wasn't going to be outdone to be like, okay, let me not let Barack be the first president to mention that, yeah, aliens are real, even though Barack was not a sitting president when he said it. So after that, Trump went to Truth Social and said all of our government agencies will now start releasing information about UFOs, UAPs, and other phenomena that is unexplained, right? And all of this data that we recently got was from the military when it comes to like the photos and stuff, right? And videos. But the Web3 DJs had to create a token, an alien token. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna talk about that particular token today, but we are gonna have some meme coin talk towards the end. And you know we like to say that towards the end, you know, build up that suspense. So well we definitely gotta have a meme coin talk right now because there is something trending and it's going ham and I can't wait to get into it. But we can tell y'all what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about Bitcoin going to zero in Google searches. That hit a record high. We're going to talk about the House Democrats raising national security concerns over the Trump-linked crypto bank charter for World Liberty Financial. Also, we're going to talk about Dubois launching $5 million in tokenized real estate on the XRP ledger. We also going to talk about Vitalik Buterin, who is the co-founder of Ethereum, and how AI could transform governance systems. Maybe having an AI do voting in a DAO. You know, that was interesting. That was one of the things that he was talking about. And yes, we will talk about a very exclusive meme coin, not financial advice. This is educational entertainment purposes only. But yeah, we got some meme coin talk for y'all. So we got to get our guy B up on stage to talk about some of his views on some meme coins that's out there. But let's talk about Bitcoin fear. All right. So Bitcoin market sentiment has turned sharply fearful, with Google searches for phrases like Bitcoin going to zero surging to levels last seen during the 2022 bear market panic. So the spike in extreme negative search activity comes as even Bitcoin has stabilized and modestly rebounded from recent lows. All right, so historically, sharp increases in fear-based searches has acted as signals of fear. All right, this is like a bottom signal right now. Okay, so the search trends alone don't predict price direction, but the return of Bitcoin to zero rhetoric underscores heightened emotional volatility in the market. So we know what happens when there's extreme fear in the market. The fear and greed index went down to 5. I think that was what, a couple of weeks ago. So we are in a very unique time. If you've been in here long enough, you know what happens when we get these crazy dips. When we get extreme fear, does this look like a bottom signal to y'all? Now, I know we've had debates on where we think the market is going this year, but right now it seems like overall sentiment is yes, it's confirmed we're in a bear market. But do you think we're coming close to the bottom? You think we hit the bottom already? Or you think, shit, we got another leg down? Who want to go first? NFTia and Just Cheeze? Ladies first.
Yeah, so I strongly believe that we are close to a bottom, but I also think that we do have another leg down.
Oh, okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
And reason being is there's some support around the 60K that is just not holding up strong. Now, if it stays here and it holds up, obviously, you know, that's a really, really good sign. But the market trend and then just the actual, like, how weak it looks, trend lines, like, you know, moving averages, stuff like that. Like, to me, when I look at it, it really looks like it has another leg to go down. And my guess would be mid-30s.
Woo! I didn't think you were going to say that.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the next level of solid support. Some could say 40s, low 40s. Mid 30s, low 40s.
That was the ballpark I was aiming, like mid 40s or something. But I definitely agree with one leg down, one more leg.
Yeah, and I put this in one of our chats yesterday. So this is the first time Ethereum 32 Ethereum is worth less than one Bitcoin, and wow. that hasn't happened since 2018, end of 2018, beginning of 2019. And that literally was the absolute bottom for Bitcoin. During that time, I think during that time, Bitcoin was around 3K,
Mm-hmm.
and Ethereum was around. It had
Probably like
dropped.
100, 200 or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was like up. I mean, it was low. It was low. It was $100 something. I think during that time, 20, and I would have to check right there, but that was the last time that has happened. 32 ETH, and that's the amount. The significance in that 32 ETH number is the amount that you need to be able to own your own node, and for ETH to be able to be a validator,
To
essentially.
stake, right?
Yeah, to stake and become a validator. And so, these are just some of like those, and I just remember during that time it felt a lot like this. Everyone was saying, oh, Bitcoin is going to zero, Bitcoin is going to $100 and all this stuff during that 3,000 dollar price action and price range for Bitcoin during that time. And I know history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And so I really feel like just a lot of the sentiment, a lot of the things that are happening, is pointing to a bottom. But then also, I also believe Bitcoin has never been in this environment where it's so much chaos, so much threatening of war. You got all these geopolitical issues that's just going on right now. To the point where even if the Clarity Act was passed, I don't know how. I don't know if that's enough. I don't think the Clarity Act is enough at this point.
Good point.
I think because there's so much uncertainty in the world in general right now, and I believe it's all by design. I think only time can fix what's going on right now, and so we just gotta wait it out.
Good take. Good take. Cheese.
Yeah, I do think we have another leg down. And so, like, overall, though, I just think, like, from a builder's perspective, if you're building, just keep building, because, like, from a market standpoint, this is what that is about. You know, that 32 ETH number is actually a pretty interesting stat, because you would think about it from a institutional standpoint. You might want to make the decision if you're making the decision between Bitcoin and Ethereum, right? You would where would you take that amount of money and put it into a validator, or would you just put it into Bitcoin, right? So I mean, there could be some input, there could be some thought processes around that, but overall, you know, I remember that timeline what Tia mentioned back like 27 times around 2017, 2018, when it was like in the 3,000 range as well, and it wasn't looking good. But you know, here we are. So I'll just say bunker down.
Bunker down. Buy the dip. Buy the dip. You see Michael Saylor constantly buying that dip. Nah, great point, great point. So all I do know is that whenever the sentiment is this low, buy the dip, man. You know, it's gonna bounce back, y'all. Y'all know it's gonna bounce back. If you have any conviction in this space, you know, put your money where your mouth is, man. There are prices on tokens I haven't seen since when I first got in this space. So, yeah, it's about that time, man. Buy that dip. I appreciate everybody's thoughts on that. So with that being said, we're going to roll to the next article. Now, I'm going to tell y'all like this. Oh, we got our guy. We got our guy, Easy Money. What's going on, B? How you doing, man? Yeah, we had our earlier take on Eve Denver, but I definitely got to hear your thoughts. How you doing, brother? Appreciate you tapping in.
Oh yeah, for sure. Hey, my bad, man. I've been in here for a minute. I just haven't been able to speak. No, actually, I canceled my flight the day of. I called in. Actually, I was like, "Hey, man," I said, "You need me or you good?" He said, "Nah, I don't know." He said, "Why? What's up?" I told him. I said the airline's acting janky already. Talking about I didn't pay for a seat, so I'm on standby technically. And then they was talking about gotta check a bag and all this other shit. So I exited stage left on them. So man, but nah, I heard similar sentiment to what y'all was saying though, just all across the board, just different. And I think as the segue was also talking about the bottom pause, it was like that was another reason why I did decide to kind of not go was sentiment just be low, especially when it be market low like that is not usually the best vibes. It ain't even said like there would. I don't know if there was side stuff or not, but just you may not even want to go to that stuff, right? And then I think Joe mentioned it too, right? If you're not building nothing, it's like what are we there showing? And to that same degree, it's like if we're building something, why are we going, right? And so I think that was also the case, just with the stuff we're building right now. For Terminus for the future, just made that decision to stay put here in the A. But I wanted to chime in too, man. I'm definitely not saying it right because there's still a month to go. But I will say, man, I've been talking about the quote unquote top. I've been saying I think we seen it. Once we seen that like 125 price point, and that wasn't just because of seeing some dudes like Reddit screenshot over the years and kind of counting how accurate he was. Although that was a factor, right? I think y'all know what screenshot I'm talking about, where the dude was kind of timing the tops and the bottoms or whatever. Pause. But it was really just as Tia said, right? History don't always repeat, but it rhymes. Everybody was talking about Bitcoin to 200K, Bitcoin to 150. It just sounded too similar to ETH to 10K, and that all sounded too similar to 2022. And then it's crazy, right? Because we talk about that 4-year cycle and is it dead and yada yada yada. But here we are, 4 years exactly from the last bear market. In my opinion, the bear market started back in 2022, like the last cycle or whatever, when the Russia-Ukraine thing happened. And it's literally almost 4 years to the date. That was February 24th, 2022. So here we are, February 22nd, 2026, and America's talking about going to war with Syria or whatever. So in my mind, I had a inclination that the musical chairs was over. But there is still probably there's always a chance that this is a trap. There's always that possibility. But the way it's looking right now, institutionally, I think too, right? I think it's funny to talk about, but it's a real thing. I think people were joking about how Michael Saylor mentioned his liquidation price publicly was like 8K on Bitcoin. And people know, if y'all know Bitcoin, right? Everybody always try to short MicroStrategy and try to shake them out of position and try to liquidate them and force them to buy more, yada, yada, yada. So people were like, oh man, Bitcoin's going to 8K because people know Michael Saylor's liquidation price or whatever, right? I think that's funny. That'd be crazy if it goes that low, considering it ain't been that low since 2020. So that would be a crazy way to go. But I think our like quote unquote bottom, probably like 40K in that range. I'd say like if I had to take a guess, 38 to 42, 38 to 45 maybe. But who knows, man? I'm just out here, man. My homie KD, his burners got exposed, so y'all see I'm doxed out here with my PFP. Shout out to Easy Money. But yeah, man, I'm here. I just wanted to let y'all know I was listening and stuff. I just couldn't chime in at the moment, but shout out TCK, like Ann said, episode 106. Shout out to the whole squad. Shout out Terminus. Shout out to what we building. 10 and 5.
That's right. 10 and 5, 10 and 5. Now, B, right quick, because we have the Terminus DAO event this weekend, do you want to mention it right quick? Just give that a quick, shout out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Man, it's crazy. You'd always be deflecting to Elijah. And I see Elijah's out here. I was about to deflect to him. I was like, yeah, Elijah got y'all for sure. But nah, Terminus, we have our first event coming up on Saturday the 28th at Peter Street Station. It will serve as our first central station activation in which we bring together builders, creators, and the civic community to onboard and to engage in blockchain education and activities but doing it in a way to where we can also be impactful and reach the culture and be able to onboard the normies. So our first event is on the 28th. Several people up here on the panel or on this call or on the, as Ann be saying, on this call or on the Twitter space, as I'm saying, like an right, Twitter space, on the X space or whatever. Yeah, a lot of these people will actually be speaking on panels and stuff, so, and being involved doing demonstrations for our first event. So excited about that. A lot of dope stuff we cooking up. We had a session last night between myself, Cheeze, and E3, man, pause, and it was crazy. Just some of the stuff that we also realized that we need to make sure is set and make sure is in order to deliver something right for the people. So just know we taking a lot of time, and the rollout overall of Terminus is very careful, making sure that we are doing it the right way, making sure we breathe that ethos of equitable, but also making sure that it's in a way that flows and it's conducive for the people, man. So our first event is free. Pull up, register, all of that. Yeah, I mean, Southside.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And we just had Cheeze send that to the link. So if you guys want to attend the event, Cheeze is going to send the link right there so he can post it. And y'all can check it out. Y'all can pull up. We got our guy E3 down there too. He is also, you know, we all part of Terminus DAO, but these are the core members right here. So I'm going to invite him to speak if he's available, if he has any thoughts or anything else he want to share about Terminus DAO in the event that we got going on this Saturday, y'all. Is Saturday from 6 to 9. All right? Staying within that crypto DJing ethos. You know what I mean? 69. Pause. You heard? So I would give my guy E3 the floor if he's available to speak. If not, we're going to roll to the next topic, and raise your hand whenever you got the ability or the time to speak. The floor is yours, E3, if you got it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, shout out to everybody today, man. What's up? Happy Sunday. Just like Brandon was saying, this is a pivotal moment for us here. This is going to be serving as a proof of concept, not only for future sponsorships and partners that we get, but for the community in the greater Atlanta region. So, you know, we really want to make sure we have everything down packed. We want to have our I's dotted, our T's crossed. It's not going to be perfect, but, you know, the people don't have to know that. So, really, I just want to make sure that we have all of our stuff lined up properly and ready to go. I'm really excited to see what we've got going on here. I think it's really important that we did go ahead and establish this deadline for the 28th, because if we kept putting it off, I feel like we wouldn't have that pressure and we wouldn't have been able to cook up what we did so quickly. So I just want to say I'm proud of everybody that, you know, has given a hand in helping build what we've built out so far. You know, this is a really long journey ahead, long-term vision. But, yeah, we couldn't have done it without the help of the community, because it takes all of this. So, yeah, again, I'm just excited. Look forward to seeing a lot of you on the 28th. And, yeah, that's good.
That's right, man. E3, we appreciate all of that information, man, and, you know, holding down Terminus DAO, man. You know, we appreciate your efforts, sir. As well as our guy Easy Money, and can't forget Lachey. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's a part of that Terminus DAO. I'm looking forward to that event. That's going to be dope. All right? So, yeah, man, also be Web3 Wavy. Come through wearing some fly merch. You know what I mean? Just come through wearing some dope shit so we can look like we a team in there. You heard? So, let's talk about what's going on, man. Oh, be wise, be safe out there. One of our listeners is in New York. All right, be wise. That's our guy. It's a blizzard in New York, so we just want you to be safe. Shout out to all of our people, you know, in New York. I got fam still out there, so I got to call my sister, make sure she's straight, yo. So, yeah, just had to put that out there right quick. So, y'all know that Trump got his DeFi platform, World Liberty Financial, right? Mm-hmm. Do y'all know, literally before the inauguration Do you know that 49% of his company is owned by a company in the UAE? So they looking into that. Ro Khanna, shout out to Ro Khanna. He was pressing, to release unredacted files, the Epstein files, and he also raised concerns about the UAE owning half of Trump's DeFi platform. What's that about? So not only that, they actually applied for a bank charter. So the House Democrats ain't feeling that. So the Democrats are pressing federal regulators to scrutinize a proposed crypto-focused bank charter tied to Trump-linked World Liberty Financial, warning of potential national security and oversight risks. Okay, so the lawmakers argue that regulators have not provided sufficient transparency around the firm's ownership structure, like we just mentioned, possible foreign investment exposure, and safeguards against money laundering or illicit cross-border crypto flows. In letters to banking authorities, Democrats requested detailed disclosures on due diligence, anti-money laundering, KYC controls, and national security reviews before any approval is granted. So supporters of the charter say regulated crypto banking can enhance U.S. competitiveness and financial inclusion, but critics caution that politically connected crypto bank hybrids could introduce systematic vulnerabilities without strict compliance guardrails. All right, so crypto banks. There are several Web3 companies that applied for a national bank charter to become a crypto bank. And I thought it was highly suspicious. And I'm going to tell you like this. A lot of shit Trump is doing, I feel like it's illegal, especially with his business ties to all these other countries. Because what happened when this company from the UAE got half of the ownership of Trump's company? You know what they got access to? Some restricted chips, some very highly sought after microchips. Wow. They got access to. So Trump is doing something extremely unethical. All right. So not only that, they feel like he can be doing some money laundering with this bank. I ain't even gonna lie. No president should have their own fucking bank. No politician should have their own fucking bank. And because it's under his business entities, it's still tied directly to him and his family. I am not feeling this shit at all. So I'm glad the Democrats, I'm a registered independent, but I'm glad the Democrats is on his ass, all right? Because, listen, man, you doing a lot of suspicious shit over there. You know what I'm saying? How you give access to these restricted chips to a country, that, listen, man, we don't have the best relationship with them, but at the same time, we don't want no smoke with them over there. You know what I'm saying? We don't want no smoke with them in the UAE. Gotta ask my co-host, what's your thoughts about Trump and his bank charter for World Liberty Financial? NFTia.
In terms of like the UAE applying for a bank charter in the United States, first of all, the UAE is viewed upon a lot differently than a lot of the other Middle Eastern or Western Asian countries, however you slice it. UAE is technically, I believe, African, and Iran and all that is Middle East, but it's still considered Asia. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. However, tomato. I just pulled it up. Brazil has applied. We already spoke on the pod about Japan applying, Switzerland, and UAE, and I think we're going to see it a lot more. You'll probably see the Kenyas of the world, and maybe South Africa's, or I wouldn't put it past China at this point.
That'd be dangerous.
UK. Applying for crypto bank charters because it seems like it's the trend, not just with blockchain companies, but actual countries applying for charters as well.
In the U.S.
And I think that should give you a telltale sign of what the digital dollar is going to look like as well as stable coins. You don't see countries running to Japan and China to open up a charter bank for crypto and blockchain. It's vice versa. So the writing is on the wall in terms of like Trump being in bed with the UAE. Palm Island over there, he definitely had his hands in real estate and stuff like that. We all know that through the e-files that, you know, there were a lot of dealings. There have been a lot of dealings with the UAE and that whole thing. So we know those waters are a lot more muddy than we would like to even go down that rabbit hole. And those ties are they're tricky. You know, I'm not even gonna go that. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole today. But you know that, you know, those ties are a little tricky over there. It is a very Americanized, but not so Americanized area over there, or whether you want to call it Europeanized, Americanized, whatever. So, I mean, those cultures have, I guess, merged a bit, and you can tell it's from some of those backdoor dealings, and how that country is kind of being put on a pedestal for the world. And another thing I thought about is, I mean, UAE is a perfect location for America to be friend. It behooves America. It literally sits right in such a, it's let's say it, with the tension in Iran right now. It's a perfect location if I have an ally literally just south of your border if I did need to strike. So there, I don't want to go too deep down the geopolitical rabbit hole, but it just looks like it's a strategic move being in bed with them.
Good point. Good takes. Cheese.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a minute for these type of things. Like, what's the number? Saudis in that area has been very much entrenched in a lot of things. Like, you see how golf has been taken over there. People have been flown out to do comedy shows over there. So the relationships and for the money over there is definitely something that people have been going shifting space for. Saudi Aramco, that was the company I was trying to mention at first.
Oh yeah.
It was like the number one company in the world, over Apple even, for a minute back, like in like 2022ish, during like coming out of the pandemic, around that time. So, and that's because, you know, the big oil, all of that's going on over there. So the fact that, you know, I'm not just looking at this from a World Liberty Finance perspective. Like, if that ends up panning out, is this going to be like par for the course because of the amount of hands that Trump and his family has their hands in? But you also got, I look at what's more like the oil industry, and Trump just happens to be the Bush family in this case. Yeah.
Yo, shout out to George Bush, man. I never thought I would actually miss a Republican in office, man. You know what I'm saying? Because he was, compared to Trump, I mean, you know, George Bush wasn't the smartest president. That's, you know, he was kind of an idiot. You know what I'm saying? We knew Cheney was the guy really running this shit. You know what I'm saying? But just to know, like, he had some sense of morality. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, outside of the Katrina shit, I don't want to go too
so
far.
deep in them Epstein files. I don't know. You gotta pause.
Well, yeah. Actually, I didn't even hear his name pop up, but that was probably Epstein was connected to everybody. But real talk, it's just the fact of how brash Trump is and how vulgar he is. Like, even with them Epstein files, like before, you know, he ran for his first term, he got caught up with what? Talking about, yeah, you just grab him by the pussy. Like, pardon me. You know what I mean? But when you read the Epstein files, like, he was literally doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? He was literally doing that shit. So Trump, yeah, you a foul dude, man. So you got your hands into so much shit, bro. I like his legacy is so. Oh my god, this guy's like the Teflon Don. He's literally the Teflon Don. Because if him launching this bank, if hopefully they can prevent him from even doing this. You know, maybe the SEC would just be like, nah, you can't open this bank or whatever. But listen, man, his hands is in everything when it comes to crypto, and that's the resistance that the Democrats have with the industry itself, because Trump beat them to the punch and he leveraged it. He took advantage of it, while the Democrats is slow to the adapting this technology. Trump is benefiting, and he took us all for a ride in Bitcoin Nashville in 2024. We wanted a crypto president. We got a crypto president, but they always tell you be careful what you ask for, Man, thank both my co-hosts for their thoughts on that one. So I know we talked about the UAE. Let's talk about what Dubai is doing, because I actually thought that this is pretty dope too. They're ahead of us when it comes to adopting this technology. So Dubai has recently launched a regulated secondary trading platform for more than $5 million worth of tokenized real estate built on the XRP ledger, allowing qualified investors to buy and sell fractional property tokens with real-time, low-cost blockchain settlement. So the new venue enables transparent on-chain trading of previously issued commercial and real estate property tokens. I thought that's interesting, while incorporating anti-money laundering and compliance safeguards aligned with the UAE regulations. All right, so initially limited to institutional and accredited investors, the platform aims to boost liquidity for traditional illiquid real estate assets, shorten settlement times, and attract global capital into Dubai's growing tokenization ecosystem. All right, so I just mentioned before I read that article that they are way ahead of us, the United States. Listen, man, they're tokenizing their real estate, and some of the most prime real estate is in that area. Fractional ownership. Think about having fractional ownership of a tower in Dubai. How crazy is that? And usually stuff like this, like I read in the article, is just reserved for accredited and institutional investors, but it looks like they're opening up for retail investors too. I really hope America does something like this. I don't know which state will be first to do this. I do know that there's some property in Hawaii. Shout out to Cass too. She's in Hawaii. Property, they have some real estate on chain that you can actually pay for in crypto, right? But I think the actual paperwork for this property is tokenized. I don't know if the actual land is tokenized or the property itself. I don't know. Got to do some more research on that. But to know that what they doing in the UAE, tokenizing real estate, how soon do you think companies in the United States will be doing something like this? So I got to ask my co-host. And, oh yeah, matter of fact, they're doing it on Ripple. We can't be... I have to incorporate that because that's a very important factor, that they did this on the XRP ledger. They tokenized real world assets on the XRP ledger. And I know gold is also tokenized on XRP ledger. Co-host, Just Cheeze, NFTia, who want to take this first?
Yeah, so obviously we love the fact that real estate is being tokenized. What I don't like is the accredited investor part, because to me, it's always if this, let's say if this is the model, right, and they're rolling this model out for the world, Craig, in my Brandon voice, the little guy is always going to be behind the A ball. They're not going to be the first one to the party ever, because let the big guys get theirs first, which is typically when most of the profits are going to take place. And the same thing as a stock market and things of that nature. Like, all of our financial systems are built that way, and a lot of times, like, those biggest gains are pre-seed, angel round, yada yada, and so forth. And then once that company does, if and does make it to the stock market, yeah, there's still going to be upside, but the early investors are the ones who really are able to capture and capitalize off of that growth.
That's right.
And so if they're planning to roll out tokenized real estate in this matter, that's BS to me. Giving them...
I'm going to stop you right there. Originally, they said it was for institutional and accredited investors. They actually opened it up to retail. So retail will have the ability to own these fractionalized shares.
So, but I thought the way that I read it, maybe I could be wrong. Accredited investors first, and then open it up to retail.
That could be their way of doing it, to roll it out first to see if the institutional investors and accredited investors, even if it's attractive enough for them to want to do that. But I'm glad that they keeping the option open for the retail, because you are right. They usually restricted to retail, to accredited investors.
And I understand having bigger money and more stronger hands, being able to hold those floor prices and stuff like that. But I believe it should just be open, is what I'm trying to say.
No doubt.
If we're going to do this, and we're going to do this right, we're going to call it decentralization and do all this stuff. And the whole reason for all this innovation is an equal playing field. And we know that playing field is really never equal. But if you're going to roll it out in this manner, you're blatantly saying that it's not, in my opinion.
Good take. Cheese.
So, let's see. Is this where I want to drop the news about XRP? Let's see. Do we have any other topics? The news that we got this weekend, right?
About XRP?
Yeah. You want me to save that later?
Drop it.
Nah, go ahead, Cheese. Exclusive.
So the thing about XRP is interesting because, like, I was talking to Elijah and Brandon yesterday, and we saw this article that came up, and Coinbase is going to start tokenizing loans up to $100,000 on with backed by XRP.
Dope.
Yeah, and we were at the event on Friday, right? And remember we met the Argentinians, and one of them was a banker. He worked in banking in Argentina, and he specialized in crypto, right? And he was asking us our opinion on XRP, right? And we all were like, yeah, XRP is cool. But then he offered his opinion, right? He said it was going to go bonkers, NFA, no financial advice. His reason was, which was very enlightening to me, was that XRP is technically still, like, it's still up for discussion on how they can operate from this perspective of, like, supporting from decentralized standpoint, right? Like, they're not governed by the SEC, right? Many, I don't know about you guys, but when they won the case, that was actually the moment they kind of obfuscated themselves from all this noise that's actually going on.
That's a fact.
It's like a lot of this SEC now stuff, like, you can't do this, you can't do that. That doesn't apply to them. So they have a lot more room to play with some of these scenarios. So they could. The guy's point from the event on Friday, his point was, like, if they want to print stable coins into the Bolivian, they could do that because they're a commodity. XRP is a commodity.
That's right.
Right? It's not a security. So I never thought about it like that.
Wow.
Until you put it into perspective. I was like, oh shit, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
They won the battle against the SEC that said they are not a security. So what does that make them? A commodity, right?
Mm-hmm.
We never really talk about the opposite of the security piece, but that's what literally it says, right? So
Good point.
we're just watching some of these things that XRP is going to be able to do, be able to be utilized for, and tokenizing real estate is one of them.
Great point, Cheese. Great point. I'm glad that you highlighted that, man. You know, because sometimes it's getting a different perspective, especially from somebody from another country, and the use case for cryptocurrency. You know, sometimes in America we may not see the use case, but in other countries like Argentina, yeah, Ripple can do a whole lot that a lot of other blockchains can't do, simply because they went to war with the SEC and won. So to Cheese's point, man, they're a commodity. You know what I mean? So they have a lot of flexibility, man. They have a lot of flexibility in this space, man. I appreciate you highlighting that, Cheese. Thank you to both my co-hosts for their thoughts on that. So let's talk about AI. Yo, shout out to all our builders at ABC who's using AI right now, because Claudebot, man, is on fire. Claudebot is on fire, yo. Man, me and Cheese, we were already looking at some things cooking up with a 3D printer. You know what I'm saying? We thinking about AI and 3D printing, but from the Blender standpoint, creating a bot to actually create our 3D printed files for us. Like this is it's yo, the convergence of Web3, blockchain, AI, and we have a 3D printer, man. Like the sky's the limit, man. So my mind is just racing with ideas, man. So speaking of AI, we got a shout out to Vitalik Buterin, man. I really think he's an alien. If you ask me, I think he's an alien. Real talk. He had some thoughts about AI. All right, so he is the co-founder of Ethereum, Vitalik. All right, Vitalik Buterin. He says artificial intelligence can dramatically improve governance both on blockchain networks and broader society as well, by helping communities make smarter and more data-driven decisions. Rather than replacing human judgment, Vitalik envisions AI as a decision support tool that can analyze complex policy trade-offs, model long-term outcomes, and synthesize large-scale public preferences to design more balanced protocols. Essentially, it'll take a lot of friction out of when it comes to voting. You know, that's the thing about governance. Not one person has control when, especially like in a DAO. That's the scenario I'm essentially talking about. You know, people vote on things inside of their DAO when they have a particular budget and they want to fund certain projects. So I thought that this was a good idea because we talked about the Terminus DAO, and maybe, you know, if we have a lot of different opinions, maybe AI can come in and filter out what's the best option for us based on the things that we are selecting, our choices, our individual choices. So I thought that was pretty dope. So also, in on-chain governance, AI could evaluate protocol upgrades, simulate future network performance, assist with conflict resolution, and even help refine voting systems to be more adaptive and expertise aware. So, Vitalik, he also stressed that AI must remain transparent and align with human values with safeguards like human oversight and community-approved AI-generated recommendations. Yo, I'm going to tell y'all like this. I use AI for my journalism, and it's constantly making mistakes. So I don't care how sophisticated these AIs get. We still need human oversight. We still need to be able to go over what these AI agents are creating and developing. You know, so we just can't let them run willy nilly. Even though, you know, can't put the toothpaste back in the container. But it is what it is.
You can save it for later, though.
So I gotta ask my co-host, what's your thoughts on Vitalik and his ideas with AI and governance, especially in situations where people need to get down to the bottom of something that could actually benefit the group, with AI's assistance. So, who wants to go first? NFTia, what's your thoughts?
I mean, this is another one of those situations where it really we're futurists, so we've already seen this. Once we understood the technology, we understood with AI being behind it. Oh, guess what? This will probably be happening in the near future. Like this is going to happen a lot sooner than we expected. Once you start to understand it, and then you start really going down the rabbit hole, and whether it's empires and all this stuff, this is an evolution of, we understand that this system is fundamentally broken. We see it imploding, and we see magically another system is coming in slowly but surely to to save the day. And this is what, to me, this sort of looks like. And a lot of the experts are going to talk about, oh, we believe AI would, well, we've always known that AI and blockchain would probably be strong infrastructure for governance and things of that nature. It's a matter of, I think this is part of the rollout.
That's right. Good point. Good point. Cheese.
So there's a book called The Great Wave, The Coming Wave,
Okay.
right? And in that book, they talk about, where we're at with AI right now, with major technologies. There's an effect that we haven't experienced yet in technology, in AI, and that is the box, right?
What do you mean?
Putting it in a box. Right now, the book talks about this concept of where AI is currently in a free reign mode. Like we're unregulated. We're testing the waters. We're going crazy with it, right? And that regulation has yet to come. In terms of, and I think that's where blockchain is the secret sauce, right? In order for AI to be useful in government systems, in order for AI to be useful in retail systems, in order for AI to be useful in other scenarios, we're going to need protocols, we're going to need rules, we're going to need standards, SOPs, and these need to be reusable across different scenarios. So humans can not so humans can really oversee it, but so that when humans are no longer engaged with it, it can operate without human. I think there is a point where humans are no longer going to be able to prompt AI in a way where we feel like we're controlling. I feel like we're gonna get prompted by the AI.
Oh yeah.
Right, and we kind of ready seeing it happening. Right, when we start seeing some of the stuff that's happening with OpenClaw, and we're in a space where, like, you on the web, you sign up for the website where the Rent a Human.
That's right.
Where the AI is giving you jobs, right?
That's right.
And I think that's one way of looking at how AI prompts a human. The other way AI prompts a human is if AI is doing a lot of the work back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The prompting of the human is, hey, you should do this. That is a prompt, right? Hey, you guys should check this out. That's a prompt, right? So we will be like at the end of the cycle there, and we will be receiving prompts like, you should check this out. Not saying that we won't exist, right? Because builders and the people who understand these systems, they're also on the front end of the chain. But once a true AI system is in place and results come out and people are utilizing it for added productivity, we'll see a lot of scenarios start switching from, well, the AI said we should do this, so we're doing that, and that's going to be further emphasized once we have smart contracts in place that create protocol for these things to run.
That's right.
Right, and so ERC 8004 is low key that motion to set that in place. Not a lot of people are talking about it, but I think that it's going to take some like accidents and things to happen for a lot of people to start raising their hands and say, "Hey, we need protocols. We need more clear standards and guardrails for these AIs. So we need to put this on blockchain. We need to make it immutable so it cannot change." So I think that's where that's going to end up there. But in the meantime, I'll talk about something that happened yesterday. I'm waiting for him to text me back. Nelson.
Who is that?
Nelson is OpenClaw.
That's the name of your agent.
Yeah.
Fire.
Well, not my agent. It's So after I left Nelson, is he calling me?
Hold on. I think Cheeze is getting a call from his AI.
I would. How
the
you
agent
figure out how to use the
calling him?
phone? Hello.
Oh, nah, all right. Force along, folks.
Spam call, but
It was a spam.
it looked like the same number that we gave it. So
That's funny, man.
anyway, let me get back to what I was saying. Yesterday, after the hackathon at Morehouse, which has been amazing, by the way. Shout out to all the students that are building. I got there at midnight on Saturday morning, and I was there until 7 a.m.
What? You ain't go to sleep, Cheeze?
Nah. And then
Yo!
I left there at 7 a.m., went back to my house, took a quick 2-hour nap, went to the gym, then went back over there, and then after that went to the bookstore gallery, and Kyle, Justin, and I set up Nelson.
Oh, y'all finally set him up.
Yeah.
Dope.
So we split the cost on the Mac Mini. The Mac Mini came in. We set up OpenClaw on it, and Nelson was hatched. It was an interesting process to go through the step-by-step instruction. Right. Definitely glad that I was able to go through that, because now doing another one in the future will be a lot easier.
That's right.
We gave it one skill.
What's that?
Which was the nano banana skill, but there's a list of skills that you could give it out of the box, but it could also create its own skills, right? So
Dope.
Like talking to it, it will probably be able to. It will, if we need something that it currently can't do, we can tell it to do it, and we can tell it to create a skill for that, so it'll be able to know how to do it later on in the future as well. So there's some testing to go on right now with that, but I'll say this is the biggest thing that feels different from like this and just using like ChatGPT, and it's the connectivity to the human layer. Like I'll text it, like when Elijah came by last night, I was kind of like low key because I was low key. I was talking to Elijah, but at the same time I was texting Nelson. Nelson was kind of delaying the response, so like I would get a text message back like 5 minutes later, and I was just talking like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? You still good over there?" And then Nelson would respond, "Yeah, I'm good over here. I'm just chilling."
Quick question. How were you communicating through like WhatsApp,
Telegram.
Discord, Telegram?
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
So I just text Nelson. I say, "What's up? What you doing today?" Waiting for a response. But it feels like human because the reason why it feels not human, but it feels different. The engagement different because I'm using this app. I'm using Telegram to text it, as opposed to, you know, like going open into a ChatGPT app or going into a terminal.
Right.
Right. So now the other thing that I realized with this setup is that, you know, once you connect the agent to Telegram and you give it permission to talk to you from Telegram, you actually it actually there's the way that the architecture, and you know, for those of you who are you can't see my hands, but the architecture is like this, right? The open claw lives on the device, the Mac Mini, right? And that's really about it, right? You can interface with it via terminal, right? Which is one way of talking to it and having it do things. But you can connect other channels, voice, Telegram, WhatsApp, right? And once you connect those channels, you are technically doing the same thing that you're doing in the terminal. So if you're a builder, right, you don't really need Claude Code like that for real, for real. I mean, you do, I would say you still Claude Code is dope. I don't want to say nothing bad about Claude Code, but I can text Nelson right now, yo, start working on a new website for XYZ, and it will do that. Nelson just sent me back. Let me see what he say.
Fire. You got a voice for him yet?
No. Yeah, here you go. Because I asked him to do something last night, but he wasn't up and running. I think.
AI is already being hardhead, man.
So
Tell the people what you actually asked it first.
Well, so they had. I think it wasn't working because they had to turn off all the electricity. Not the electricity, but you know when they left the bookstore gallery that last night. I don't think they left the computer up and running.
Oh, so the computer got to be on.
Yeah,
makes sense.
But yeah, last night I can go through the entire conversation like OpenClaw. Okay, once I connected it to my Telegram, I said hi, and then it says, "Hey, so first time meeting, kind of exciting, right? I got this Bootstrap MD file. That means let's figure this out together." So that was the first time, you know, that was the first time. The first conversation that was being had was, "Who am I? Right? What kind of relationship do we want to have?" And no pressure. You know, we can make this. We can start whenever. So what do you want to call me? Right? So from there, we just basically told it who it is, and we gave it the skill. But my point that I'm highlighting is whatever I'm doing here is happening in the terminal, in its terminal.
That's fire.
So, like, I could give it a command to start working on a website, and once I start letting it connect to my GitHub, it could just be building sites for clients.
Fire.
On GitHub. And I can just go and check them out and be like, okay, this site's cool. Or, yo, another client needs another site. Build that one, too. So, and I feel a lot more engaged with it because I don't have to go into my computer, open up Claude Code, right? And there are set up for people, you know, this does not require a Mac Mini, just to be 100% clear, right? It's if you understand, like I talked to Chris about his setup, right? And if you understand how to do the VPS route method, right? I know Chris talks to his agent from Telegram as well, right? So it's like doesn't require a Mac Mini. But ultimately speaking, it feels like a different experience because you're not going into Claude Code and you're not there kind of like driving the code. The agent is kind of just happening. That's all happening behind the scenes. You go about your day and then you can come back and check on it, but you're just having a text conversation. The last thing I'll say about it though is like, for that experience to be like that today, right? Just think about a year from now, 5 years from now, right? We ought to not be overlooking these moments right now, and just try to check out.
That's right, yo, Cheese. Thank you for that information. And I'm extremely excited about the future of what Nelson evolves to and some of the tasks and skills that you give it. That's gonna be super dope, man. Cause we gonna gear up. We gonna get another setup, one specifically for the 3D printer, y'all. So I'm looking forward to that. That's gonna be super lit, man. Man, there's so much going on in 2026. I'm looking forward to, man. Just know that it's gonna be a hot summer. There's gonna be some fly ass merch that's about to be released.
Ooh.
Yeah, Web3 merch is on deck. We're gonna have that cooked up. I got on, the original OG Atlanta Blockchain Center camo tee. You know what I'm saying? Tia got on
The East Denver joint.
the Eve Denver Web3 DJ sweater. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we stay Web3 wavy around here, man. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to cooking up some dope 3D printed items. Looking forward to more engagement with AI agents. More sophisticated agents, giving them more tasks. My website, thecryptocrew.com, is built on WordPress, so y'all already know I was trying to see if I can get me a Claude bot to just automatically just throw articles up on my website, but I have to take it off of WordPress to do that, and then it would benefit me more because I'll be able to incorporate the Web3 features that I want, like a built-in wallet, release the newsletter as an NFT. Certain things I can't do on WordPress right now, and I can't incorporate one of the agents. So eventually, I'm going to have to take my website off of WordPress. But till then, tap into thecryptocrew.com for your latest Web3 news. And we have an event that's coming this Saturday from 6 to 9 at the Peter Street event. That's going to be lit. Terminus DAO. It's going to be our first event, y'all, so I'm looking forward to that. But without any further ado, we got to talk about some meme coin action. All right. If y'all are just very conservative, this conversation may not be for you. These are for my DJs, my people in the trenches. I just know that there's different opportunities in the space that you can take advantage of. You can be a builder, you can be an investor, you can be a trader. It's all kind of ways that you can come up in this space, right? Well, if you pay attention to certain narratives, you might be able to catch a meme coin and have a crazy run up. All right. So I don't know if you guys seen this. Have you guys seen this little monkey by the name of Punch? And he was abandoned by his mother. So I guess the people at the zoo or wherever he's being captive at, they gave him a stuffed animal monkey, and he's been carrying this thing around. Just know that somebody made a meme coin of it, and it's been going stupid. All right. So I'm not even gonna lie. When I saw this, it reminded me of Mudang. Mudang was a hippo in I want to say like a Cambodian zoo or something like that, somewhere in Asia, some country in Asia. Forgive me for not knowing that country. But Mudang, that thing went stupid last year, and it was all because it was a viral, baby hippo. And sometimes that's all you need is just the viral aspect of a narrative, and you follow that, and then somebody launches a token, and you might be able to come up on some bread. So when I saw this, I thought this was super dope because it definitely reminded me of Mudang. It had very similar lore. All right, so Punch is the name of that little monkey that carries this little stuffed animal monkey. So I'm gonna go to Deck Screener right now just to give people an update on what it's doing right now. It's number 2 on Deck Screener. It has a market cap of $38 million. So I'm gonna tell y'all like this. Originally, I was a little skeptical because I saw the name originally in Chinese, but I was like, I don't know, it might go stupid. So, just so people know that this token was created about 17 days ago. All right. So, if you were lucky enough, you could have came up a few thousand X on this particular token. So, also, it looks like there's another monkey in this particular zoo or where they have these animals captive, and he got a new friend. And I don't know how to pronounce this cheese. I know he has more. What's the word I want to say? You're more familiar with the Asian culture and their language.
I speak Japanese.
And Japan. Oh, that's a flex. My boy Cheese speak Japanese. You know what I'm saying? And he's learning. What you learning? Swahili. Swahili too.
And Zulu.
Yeah, and yo, Cheese ain't playing. He ain't playing no games out here. This dude don't sleep, bro. We had a whole event Friday. He's on his computer work. I'm like, yo, Cheese, what you doing? I'm like, we supposed to be mixing mingle, have a good time. This boy working, and then he was like, man, I'm about to go to Morehouse for a hackathon. I'm like, a hackathon? I'm like, yo, we having a good time event. We shaking shit up. This man went to Morehouse to a hackathon, and he said he ain't leave till 7 in the morning.
And really ain't slept since then.
And yeah, Cheese don't sleep, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to think Cheese might be an alien, but it's. I'm gonna tell you like that. I'm gonna tell you like this. Either you're part android or you're part alien. Either which way, I'm glad you're on my team, buddy. Word up. I'm sure, like just like everybody else at ABC, man, we are very, we're proud of you, bro. You know what I'm saying? And we're grateful to have somebody like you here because, like I said, you basically you help out anybody who comes to you with a great idea. You know what I'm saying? And man, your reward and your impact, I'm gonna tell you like this, man, is immeasurable. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know you're gonna have a fulfilling life just by how you are. You help a lot of people, man. So I just want to thank you, man. So we're gonna talk a little bit more about one more meme coin.
What's the word you want me to?
That's the coin that I want you to pronounce. So it's spelled XING. How do you say that, Cheese?
Oh, it's Chinese.
Chinese. Now I know you know Japanese, but Mandarin is what is it?
Where is it? Oh, Xing Xing.
Sing Sing?
Xing Xing. Xing Xing.
Alright.
Sing Sing.
Sing Sing. This is the other companion monkey that befriended Punch. Somebody launched this token 15 hours ago, and it's already up 1,600%. It got a $630,000 market cap. I'm saying all that to say this. We know we had other animal narratives in the past. Got the Dogecoin, we got the sheeps, we went through the dog phase. We got the Toshis. We went through the animal phase, but to me, what brought back animals in the meme coin space was that penguin that went away from its flock, and instead of going towards the sea, it went towards the mountains, went on its own. That token, I believe, like $100 million market cap in several days. Now, a cool thought, I think that token, Penguin back. Penguin, I might have to look it up, but Penguin went to literally $100 million market cap in a couple of days, and I was extremely surprised because we're in a bear market. But guess what? Trenches don't sleep, all right? Man, that token tanked like a mug. It only got a $6.7 market cap, all right? But just know, if you catch these early, you'll be able to flip your bread. You'll be able to flip your bread something crazy. So there's only one other token that I'm gonna mention to y'all, and that's I'm gonna keep it tight. Somebody created the trenches token. It's up 41% in the past 24 hours. It got $1 million market cap. And I'm gonna tell y'all like this. This token has been on fire. It's on my radar. It was launched about 9 days ago. These are narratives. So if you do play the meme coin game, look for the narratives. All right. You got trenches, and you have these animals, particularly Punch and Xing Xing. I think I said that one right? But if you see something go viral on TikTok, on social media in general, especially if it's an animal, 9 times out of 10 it's going to go viral. When Trump said he was going to release all of these UFO files, guess what? Somebody created an alien token and that went stupid. It's just the fact that if you pay attention to the space, if you're in the trenches, and if you want to come up, gotta be careful, gotta be cautious, do your research on all of these tokens, because this is only for educational entertainment purposes. Speaking of entertainment, Kelsey, man, what's good with y'all, man? I really hope that in the future we can do something special. I made a couple bets on your platform, but I heard that Twitter is cracking down on people posting about prediction markets or gambling or certain meme coins, so Twitter is getting strict on that. So we will see how this pans out in the future, but I will be incorporating a prediction market into the cryptocrew.com, so be on the lookout for that. And I'm going to be sitting with my developer next week, because hopefully when I leave, I'll be able to have now accepting cryptocurrency as far as like donations on my website, so people can contribute. And I got that newsletter cooked up, so I'm working on that. That's the next 2 things you guys can look forward to on my website, is the newsletter, crypto donations, because we give a lot of alpha. All right, so with that being said, Terminus Dow this Saturday from 6 to 9. All right, so come out, be Web3 wavy. This is Tia's last time on this couch, but this is not your last time being a part of TCK. All right, because she's forever a part of TCK. All right, I'm gonna just tell you like this, man. I really, really appreciate your time and all of your wittiness. You know what I'm saying? Your charisma is definitely gonna be missed. So it's the evolution of TCK. Like I said, for the next couple of episodes, we will be remote. All right, so I'm gonna be at the crib, broadcasting from there. Cheese might be on a beach, or he might be somewhere, somewhere super fly, soaking up them rays, tapping into the pod, and we got a thorough community here. So we're gonna have some people come through and support the pod, man, to get this thing cracking over the next couple of weeks, because then we got a surprise for y'all. We got a major surprise for y'all. I can't let the cat out the bag, but just know very soon the evolution of TCK, y'all will see it, and I'm looking forward to it, man. And ABC, it's a very special place, very, very, very special place. So I'm not at liberty for me to be explaining certain things, but just know the evolution of where we're at is going to be a major, major, major impact on the Web3 community here. But just know we are ABC. We ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Looking forward to the evolution of this space. Shout out to Marlon, bar chef. You know what I mean? This guy, he's the founder of ABC. This is Avatar right here, man. And you know how we do before we wrap up. Got to shout out some of our Web3 DJ stuff we got over here. Number 1, we got the Fruit Loops Doodle box, man. I got this thing crushed. I've been moving it too long, man. But I got the Doodles Fruit Loops box exclusive with an airdrop to my wallet. You know what I mean? I got a Doodles airdrop. We have our Mint and Marquee items over here. Me and my guy Just Cheeze, we got a 3D printing company called Mint and Marquee. All right, we gearing up for the World Cup, so we got this Bitcoin symbol here. We got the Mint and Marquee logo. That's our business sign right here that we 3D printed. So all you small business owners, get you a 3D printed, business sign. So you tap in with us, hit us in the DM. That's Mint and Marquee on all social medias. All right, we got a Cause phone case. Well, not a phone case, a phone holder. So you can place your phone up there while you're eating your dinner. You know what I mean? So that's super dope. Gives you that flexibility, and it's a dope look. On top of that, we got a Pepe Buddha. We gave away a Pepe Buddha, and we gave away a Bitcoin Gnome. So shout out to the people who won second place in our blackjack and poker tournament. It's funny because I ain't know our guy Cheese ain't no blackjack like that, man. You know what I'm saying? So that it's funny. So I had a good time, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the people who won the 3D printed items. You know. Then we got a David statue out of blue marble with a gold skeleton that's split in between it. So that's one of my favorite 3D printed items. And of course, we got the Eclipse. Let God sort them out. Cause design box set. That's super dope. And we got a Cause character with the Nike hoodie on the end of the table right there. So this is what we do over here. And our guy Aunt Mathis and our guy Chris got a photo with John Ossoff. You know what I mean? So they helped get that Genius Act passed earlier in 2025, man. So, you know, our team is in the history books for being a part of getting crypto regulated, man. And that Genius Act was the first crypto law, you know, literally written into law by Trump, man. So I'm extremely proud of everybody's efforts here, with everybody's building. Again, shout out to Just Cheeze and NFTia for being solid individuals, and I appreciate their time, expertise, and help holding down TCK. It's going to be the evolution. Just know the next couple of episodes, like I said, it's going to be remotely filmed. And after those couple of weeks go by, can't wait to reveal what it's going to look like and where we're going to be at, man. It's going to be super dope, man. So just know it's going to be the evolution of the TCK Web3 News Roundtable. NFTia, any thoughts, any closing remarks before we shut this thing down?
Like I said, this is not goodbye. This is just goodbye for now. You know, I'm always a part of the TCK.
That's right.
Crew. You know, so you know, thank y'all for rocking with me during this journey. I know I can be far all the way to the left or all the way to the right, and usually nowhere in the middle. You know, but y'all, thank y'all for rocking with me, and all that good stuff. And I do want to announce that next week, on the 1st, I'll be traveling to Ohio for a week, and I'll be doing my first Docuhero tour.
Dope.
Thank you. That Monday we'll be in Cincinnati, Dayton that Tuesday, Columbus that Wednesday, Northeast Ohio that Thursday and Friday. Then back here cooking again, you know. But I'm going to talk to the people, going to talk to the agencies, going to literally go face to face and knock on doors, like a specific religious group. I'm going to go door knock and have you heard? No, but all jokes aside, yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that, and really just put my head down and really focus on getting customers and launching Docuhero. That's the number one way to get venture capital, is to show that you have a customer base and someone who's willing to pay for the product. So, like they said, in the bear we build. So we're building.
That's right. Much success. Cheese, any closing remarks?
No, not really. Just keep building. Again, shout out to all the students that were building. And I didn't get a chance to see which team won. I had to jet out of the Pitch Fest that they had. And so I'll probably figure out later on what team won. But if I may go over what they were building quick, let me see if I can remember. One team was building the blockchain app where you can basically use your social credit, meaning your ability to pay back. You know, if you're good at what you're paying back of loans, you can get higher loans and then give more collateral to get more loans. So that was their idea, and there was a team that was building. Interestingly enough, there was a team building something like Docuhero, but for doctors.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Dope.
Given the fact that if you're a doctor and you got his pitch was around the fact that, you know, his dad was a doctor, and there was times where his dad didn't have time to spend with him. because the massive overhead of paperwork that had to do as a doctor, right? And it kept him away from being with me, his son, and kept him away from actually, really taking care of patients to his best ability. So that was their pitch. There was a team that was building some apps for job, being able to identify what jobs you well placed for.
Okay.
There was a team that was interesting take as far as like innovation. There was a team that had the idea that as a student, as a youth, sometimes your imagination is your best way to a future job.
That's right.
Right? And so their pitch was, imagine picking up a bottle, a rubber band, and a stick, and then taking a picture for all three of these items, and then getting a suggestion from AI on what fun things you could build with that, right?
Okay. That's
And I call it innovation because like now you're thinking about things differently. You're thinking about how you can take physical things in your space and build it to and actually come out with value, and that's really what that is solving for. But they wanted it to target it towards how kids can kind of teach themselves STEM education.
dope.
So that was dope. And then I think that was the only ones. Oh yeah, Kalshi for music. So they have prediction markets. So I say all this to say, like, don't sleep on the universities. Don't sleep on the schools, man. Like, we don't see enough of them here on our Thursdays, but they're tapped into the blockchain. They're tapped into the AI, and they're building with these things. And I know because I go there on Tuesdays. I'm at the startup studio. I was at the pitch fest. I mean, I was at the hackathon. Right. So I'm staying tapped in, right, to the students, and they're ripe, and they seek this type of innovation. They want to know what other builders are building, and they want to launch dope shit.
Nah, that's fire, man. That's the future of innovation right there, man. At these HBCUs, man. So, hey, let's see if we can start getting, Stand with Crypto to start supporting some of these HBCUs. That'd be a dope, man.
Thanks.
Yeah, man. Because they locking down a lot of colleges and universities. And speaking of that, you never know, man. ABC might be popping up at a few universities out here. You know what I'm saying? Doing some sessions, You never know what the future holds, man. But I definitely want to say thank you to all of my speakers, all of my co-hosts. And before I close, I got to ask Easy Money if he's still available. Easy Money. Now, B, have you seen any action on these meme coins that I mentioned earlier? And do you got any meme coins we should keep an eye out on before we wrap this thing? If you got time, brother. My guy might be caught up, but I'm going to tell you like this. He always got some alpha for us. And we always are here for y'all, man. No matter where we at, no matter if we remote, no matter if we on location, no matter if we in different states, different countries, we going to keep bringing you this Web3 alpha every Sunday, 4:20. It's your boy T.Gold, a.k.a. Mr. I Gets Busy, a.k.a. one half of Mint and Marquee, and the founder of the Crypto Crew, man. So tap in. Y'all already know how we do every Sunday, man. So thank you to our guy E3. Thank you to our guy Ian Mathis. Thank you to our guy Easy Money. Shout out to the Terminus Dow. Can't wait for that event this Saturday. It's gonna be lit. And man, it's been another one, man. 106, man. Thank you, NFTia. We appreciate you.
Most
Man.
definitely. Thank you, Tia. Yes.
And I love what we do here, man. So, oh yeah. Again, shout out to Stand with Crypto, man. you know, because people want some USDC at our event. So we got to give a big shout out to Stand With Crypto, man. So that's what we do, man. Pudgy Penguins. What's good, Pudgy Penguins, man? We got the inflatables and we got the vinyls over here, man. So that was the only other thing I forgot.
Let's not forget this picture.
And let's talk about this picture right quick. So if you can see us for your visual pleasure, right behind us, Chris put this collage together. It's phenomenal, man. It's a lot of the highlights of some of the things that Marlon and the team here at ABC has accomplished, man. So if you see on your monitors, we got pictures in front of the Capitol, right? We got pictures with senators. We got pictures at ETH Denver. We got pictures at the WorldCoin store. We got pictures of pictures. People who are building in the space, who have pitched their companies and who have won money. Like NFTia. You know what I'm saying? We got our guy, Trav. Shout out to our guy, Trav, man. We got to give a special shout out to Trav.
Big shout out to Trav.
You know, in this space, there's a lot of trials and tribulations, man. So, you know, one of our guys, man, he chose to make a pivot, and we support that pivot. You know what I'm saying? Whenever somebody, you know, makes a life-changing decision around here, we try to support them as best as we can. So, Trav, much success on your endeavors too, brother. You know what I'm saying? Because you were a very important part here at ABC too, man. Very knowledgeable brother. You know, Morehouse graduate, very intelligent, man. So no matter what you do, you're going to have a bright future, and you always got a team here at ABC. You know what I'm saying? So again, shout out to Cash, shout out to Blue. However y'all succeeded out there, you know, in Denver, you know, I know you walked away with something, you know, whether it was a connection, you know, whether it was more people know what you guys are building and capable of in this space. You know, it's always great to have knowledgeable women in Web3, man. So I think that's about it, man. I think that's about it. You know, thank you to everybody who tapped in to listen today. Thank you to our guy, Be Wise. Thank you to our guy, Chris, Project Pi Labs. Thank you to Falcon Fi. We appreciate you tapping in. Appreciate my guy, Tony, tapping in. You know, Aunt Mathis, our guy E3, our guy Easy Money. And it's been another episode of TCK Web3 News Roundtable, episode 106. I got to shut this thing down, so I ain't going to be playing no music on the video, but I will leave with some vibes for my people here on Twitter, all right? So I think we're going to go out with some more of that Larry June.
Palo Santo.
Palo Santo, you like that vibe? That's a dope vibe, man. So let's go with Palo Santo. That's a request from my guy Just Cheeze. And I gotta end this. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Sometimes I wonder if this life really meant for me.